eclectic method.
Mm-hmm. 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 Fucking love this song, man.
I can't tell you how much I love it, dude.
Will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking
How's being sober?
fucking sucks.
Boring, right?
So boring. I want to kill myself.
Fucking rich. Who's rich every fucking time? All we care about is getting fucking rich.
Fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
YouTube, Facebook, video, SoundCloud, Twitch, Instagram.
Good freaking morning, dude. How great is that?
It's the national anthem, bro. I absolutely love it. I love how it ends with the chick just fucking going nuts. It's so well edited, man. As somebody that used to work, in the industry, and like I did a little bit of like editing before. That shit is hard to pull off, and
Man.
it's just
It's
beautiful,
cool.
dude.
Like, dude, his process is cool. He's just got libraries and libraries of stuff. I'm sure it's like sorted by BPM and then kind of instruments and stuff. And like, man, I'd love to just watch him like stitch something together. He's so cool. He's so cool. And that is our anthem. Like, that's our anthem here in NFTs. And I'm sure it was in the crypto side when that shit was running. But 2021, when things were like really popping off for the first time, that song fueled us. It fueled us, dude. Like, we had all those sleepless nights, and like, dude, I wasn't no drugs back then, actually. But dude, if they were around, it would have been exactly that scene, like every day. Good times, dude. I miss it.
Dude, yeah, I and what a great movie. Like, honestly, I was looking at it and I was like, man, yeah, like that was like the original DGen pit. I can only imagine, right? Like,
Dude, yes.
those movies, Wall Street, like in the 80s. I don't know if you ever saw that one with what's his name, Michael Douglas, and I forget, not Emilio Estevez, his brother, Charlie Sheen. Oh, it's
Oh, yeah,
fantastic, dude. Really good.
Haven't seen it, but yeah, I think I know what it is. Maybe I should go
Yeah.
back and check that out.
Dude, I feel like those dudes, I mean, even though they supposedly, I guess, had regulation at the time, but I think those dudes got away with all kinds of just nonsense. Like
on
and they
set?
probably had a lot of fun too. I'm not saying that they probably didn't wreck a lot of people doing their shit, but yeah, man.
Oh, in the actual markets.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Fucking Wild
can
West,
you
kind
ima-
of like it was here, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right, cool. Guys, ton of stuff to talk about today. Tons. I think it's going to be an exceptionally cool show. Like normal, going to hit on the market. I'm gonna do like the latest stories first. Normally we get right into the week's hot stories, but I'd rather quickly touch on some big stuff that's happened since yesterday. Then I think we'll get to our main story, which it's to me the Quantum Cats, and it's even the title of the show. It's the Quantum Cats. Are they holding NFTs hostage? And funny enough, while I thought they were all week, things kind of started changing yesterday overnight. There's a lot of big sales in a lot of the projects that I felt were held hostage. So yeah, interesting story. So I'm very much looking forward to getting everyone's take on that. We got the incredible Biggie freaking Poppins up here with us. Good to see you, sir. And Cats Fanatic also joining us. Good morning, Cats.
Morning, morning. You have screwed
Yeah,
up. I blame Biggie and Q for screwing up my Twitter algorithm because now it's all say after
I'll tell you what.
after I finally dove in.
It might actually be that Say is popping off to that degree because I see a lot of Say too, and of course, you know, we're following the same people and watching the same projects. But I was just in the noun square spaces. Okay, nothing to do with Say. They're talking about minting some new nouns, and one of the guys is like, "By the way, I've been playing around in the Say." He's like, "I'll talk to you off here, but some alpha for you, dude." Everyone's talking about Say, so I wouldn't just chalk it up to these guys. Although, man, you guys positioned yourself, you Biggie. You Biggie, and Q and GIF, very smart getting into that community early and getting some of that the eyeballs on the shows. Really smart play. And they needed it. So great fit right over there. I love seeing it. Q show dude yesterday on Spaces, like 150 or so people live, maybe 180 live at once. Did you see that?
yeah, man. It was insane, man. Like Brando's community really came out and supported, and it's really cool, man. Like on top of the fact that one, you never know, right? Like when you take that leap, especially in the nascent chain, it's like, man, is this gonna work? Are we gonna be able to be effective, right? Because you really do come into it, like when we say we want to help, like get eyeballs into the space and builders and see then tell their stories, dude. Like you never know, like what kind of reception you're gonna have, and it's been fantastic. It's been awesome, man, and it's really cool to actually be able to see that, right? Like to have people be like, "Dude, thanks, man. Like I need to talk about my project, and there's an outlet for it." And so, dude, I'm having a ton of fun over there. Yeah, dude. I do feel
it's perfect again because there are so many good projects and builders, and you guys are giving them a platform, so it's beautiful.
Though I do feel like a Jehovah's Witness sometimes, right? Or like say.
Dude, that's what we all were with NFTs. We all sound like we're in a cult. So I get it. It's all good. Own it. Be proud of it. Let me set the stage real quick. This maybe for the second time here, but again, market. We're talking about some, again, really interesting stuff that's just from the past day here. Some really crazy Animoca FUD. I don't know if you guys saw a headline popped up just since yesterday, but some very, very big FUD around Animoca, specifically their involvement, their power in the Apes DAO. I think this is a really interesting story. Also saw that we're going to start seeing live NFT auctions, and they're going to be streamed on YouTube. They're going to be streamed on X at the same time, too. This is really interesting because at CryptoSlam, we built a marketplace that only does Dutch auctions. We'll see in this, and actually, I guess we'll see how this goes. If it does well, makes me think maybe we can revive that platform and do live streams, maybe picture like this, but an auction, like a Christie's or a Sotheby's auction, but live. That would be a ton of fun. We're going to talk a little bit about NFT loans. We got some big Bitcoin mints coming up, but I also want to put people onto what's the next big trend, the next big thing that's coming in Bitcoin, because there is definitely something coming. And then, okay, I look for any excuse I can get to shoehorn in VR, but we're definitely talking VR. Now that the Apple Vision Pro's out in the wild, we're seeing some of the influencers we watch on X, we're seeing them get in and use it and talk about it. There's a big tie-in here to NFTs, so we're definitely going to be talking about that here. Oh, I can't wait. Dude, I want one of those so bad. But again, let's kick it off. We'll do the NFT market to start. Looking at the Forecast 500 NFT index here, which is measuring the value of the NFT market. Right now this morning, down, not looking so great, to be honest, and kind of strange compared to the sales we're seeing, but in the negative this morning, 1.21%. In the past week, I think we're still in the green, and yes, we are. We're actually up 1.87%. So again, this is just showing over the past 7 days, the NFT market's actually gained value. I wouldn't chalk that up to NFTs themselves. This is more to do with crypto prices. Had a nice pump earlier in the week. Kind of in the red today, maybe a bit of a mixed bag, but I think the reason we're in the red in the NFT market is largely because of crypto yet again. So those prices again, they're very much tied to the price of crypto. So we need our crypto bags to do well, guys. Who'd have thought? Okay, global sales, and guys, I'll fly through this. I don't have a ton of market talking points here. Global sales yesterday, 35.2 mil. That is cross-chain sales. What stands out to me here, actually what really stands out to me, first off, unique sellers up, unique buyers really up, but total transactions, actually, I'm going to put a little time into looking at this. That's a big number, 615,000 transactions. You can see that's like 2x what we've been seeing recently. When I see a low average sale price next to it, tells me there's either a new cheap mint, so you're just seeing like high volume in a project, maybe a new protocol, maybe a new type of collectible card even. So there's definitely going to be a reason for that sharp decline in average sale price and the sharp increase in total transactions. So we'll get to play detective here a little bit. And then finally here, trade profits moving in the right direction after a few days in the negative. 2 days ago, we were at about $250,000. Yesterday, over $500,000. The sweet spot for the NFT market, I've noticed, when we see traders really engaged and really, really all over these secondary markets, when trade profits over $1 million. If you're winning, you're going to keep playing. It's a simple story that I tell over and over. Moving in the right direction, so that's looking good. And as far as what's moving the market, Biggie, did I show you this, by the way, where you can hide BRC20s?
No, man. No, this is awesome.
Yeah, new feature. It does not filter those out of the total wash or total sales yet. It will though, so that's the next update to come with it. But for right now, just to get a clean leaderboard, I know there's a very vocal group out there who do not like seeing BRC20s. Totally understand it. I do think they're NFTs when they're sold a specific way, but now everyone wins. I mean, now you just filter them right out. So with that said, the General Ornos collection at 1. Dokyo is absolutely freaking ripping still, man. We talked about that on NFT Live. But I'll tell you what, we see a lot of the same faces up here in the top 10, and that's great. But I'm starting to notice in the past few days here, maybe over the past week and maybe since Zokyo, that we're starting to see some new projects pop up and actually do some numbers. So these guys right here, I don't even know how to pronounce the name, but your number 5 project is a new mint. Same with these retired cats here at 10. I'm not going to go too much further down, and I actually think these are like liquidity positions. I don't think they're true like NFT purchases, more like staking, and you get an NFT for that. But again, I think new mints, something we need. We need to have new mint season to really pop off, to really get where we all want to go, and I think maybe that's coming. Some good signs at least right now. Let me see if I got anything else here. Anything juicy, spicy.
Did you hear much about that early retired cats club thing?
Was there a story?
Oh my God.
Yeah, tell me, dude.
No, I just hear that. I don't know. I heard whispers that it was kind of being artificially pumped.
Oh, okay.
From some influencers and whatnot.
So your typical NFT drop.
Yeah.
Like Tension's a legit drop, and they did well this week.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, they're cool looking.
Yeah.
They're right here. Yeah, I think they look really cool. Although, you know what?
They're definitely different.
Well, now that I'm looking at them, God, this might tie into my vision.
They're kind of cute.
They're really cute. But okay, that kind of art, I don't know how hard it is or easy it is to make. So I don't know. Yeah, if you can throw those together in a second, that could just be cheap shit.
Jesus, 0.698. Come on
now. Let's look at two things. I want to see what's their biggest sale so far. I just want to get a feel for what the wash trades are like. And luckily, we got wash trade filters applied to everything here. And it's good. It's a really good algorithm. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I question this a little, that there's 0 wash trades, but I mean, it might be young enough where there's not true wash trading. I don't know, man. Interesting. Definitely makes me want to dive into this, but wow, the prices.
Yeah, and people are I don't know. I've seen some rumblings it's going to be over in ETH pretty quick, and I didn't even hear about this. I had never heard of this until prices started skyrocketing.
Dude, I was the exact same with what's it called? With that what's it called? Denjin? What the hell is it called? Tenjin. I hadn't heard of that, but it's big in China apparently. So like, there's a lot of projects popping up out of nowhere, and again reinforces that point. Great sign, really great sign that we're getting new mints that are doing well. I think next we need to see them have some legs. And Tenjin, I think, does so far. If the price is around 0.5 right now, if so, to me that's yeah, okay, holding up really well. Um, Again, great sign. If that keeps happening, well, then you're going to get the next new mint. And back to that original statement: if traders are in profit, if they're winning, it continues. And gotta believe there's more of that coming with all that liquidity that's coming to market through Solana Jupiter airdrop, through that blast unlock that's coming in. What, maybe 4 to 6 weeks at this point? There's some very interesting things on the horizon. Let me
I'm
see if they
curious,
were.
Huda, did you claim any Jupe airdrop? And if so, did you insta dump or
So I wasn't
what's your play
eligible.
there?
Yeah, I did not play on Solana early, and I absolutely regret it. And the requirements, I think, were low. I think you needed to have like one soul over on the Juke platform. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I missed it. Did you?
Yeah, man, I got pretty lucky. I honestly I never read like when the snapshot was taken, so I can't exactly say what the hell it is I did to qualify. If I had to guess, honestly, dude, to me is like because I stopped transacting in Solana pretty like a while ago. Like after the whole fiasco, I bridged most of my stuff over there, and I mean, I guess I must have done a couple of transactions afterwards that qualified me. But yeah,
Interesting.
I did pretty well, man. I got about 10K juke, but
Nice. That's a good
I'm
drop.
yeah, man. I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, I want to hold it a little while. I feel Jupe can maybe be a launch pad for other things, and Jupe might be something that you'll need to stake or you'll have to have a certain amount.
Interesting.
Either way, like I feel like it's one that will hold its value relatively well to where it is right now. Like it won't go down or up too much. Uh, who knows? But yeah, for the time being, I haven't done anything. I've just sat with it.
Yeah. Now, also interesting. So we were trying to make predictions on what the Juke drop would do for like the Solana NFT ecosystem. In fact, let me peek at the value because that's kind of more important right now. My thoughts in the short term, not good for NFTs, but in the medium, maybe the short term, but a little farther out, like a few weeks out, very good. There is so much liquidity in the Solana ecosystem now. So I think it's going to be very, very good for Solana NFTs. So Solana in the past week, yeah, up 1.29, but actually the Jupe drop was when? The first or the 30th?
I think it was like day before yesterday.
Okay. So we're talking the first. Yeah, and kind of at that point is leading right up to it is when Solana did kind of fall off again at this point, down 2.35%. I mean, it just makes sense. The opportunity is in tokens right now in crypto. So yeah, I think it comes back to NFTs soon. I kind of hope so.
Maybe they were bridging to say, Huda.
maybe we just keep preaching,
Turncoats.
bro. Keep preaching, keep spreading the word. I'm very happy that my girl Claire Silver. So got those
That
buy
was
purchases out of the
awesome,
way.
honestly.
It's
That was so it felt really good. As somebody who did not participate, honestly, I had my doubts because of the shiny object syndrome. We discussed it all, right?
yeah.
But it was so cool to see one, how fast it minted out, and two, how fast the floor prices recuperated. That tells you something about art not dead meme, right?
Yeah, and in a large part too, it says a lot about Clara Silver. Okay, something really really interesting here with her, and I'm just gonna spend a minute on this. I think this is the thread. I think Claire Silver's about to rise to the Rafik Anadol level. Now, I think that's going to take a year, and that's a pretty bold prediction here. But she has
In like
some
distribution,
in
I mean, because
notoriety.
okay, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I put her at that level already. Like
Oh,
to me, like Rupe, Pindar, her. Like, I mean, I understand. Like, I think like Rafik is already more recognized around the world because
yeah.
he's obviously had an established career before crypto. But as far as like the talent and I mean and the vision, I mean she's right there with it. Like he's like I don't know, man. Like early adopters spearheading this technology, especially in Web3. I most definitely think she's right up there already, like in the conversations, like right with Rafik
So
and all of them.
So I agree as far as status of artist in the space, but you know what? You said it actually. I mean in terms of like worldwide name recognition, right? That's what I mean. I think Claire
Yeah.
is about to get. I can't say Beeple level. That's different, but I think Rafik level, maybe just right under.
hmm
But something's going to
I
change
mean,
because
she was right there, right? Like she was gonna be on the Louvre. Remember that fucking fiasco?
wait on the
Like
what?
on the Louvre, the
Oh,
the
right, right.
Parisian like super museum. Like
Yep.
she was already there. It was not on her. These were the dumbasses that like came to her pretending that it was gonna happen, and but I do. I mean, it didn't surprise anybody. Everybody was really happy for her. I think she's still gonna make it. Fuck the Louvre.
Big time.
You can
By
go
the
to
way,
the
check
Quai
this.
d'Orsay or somewhere else.
This is her next project coming up. She speaks about it in a way that has me like just excited in a way I wasn't before. So the point of this being such an expensive mint, she says it's to fund her next project, and she can't say shit about the project because there's NDAs involved. But here's what she like her words. I can say it involves my work in a radically new way, that it'll be a global experience reaching a global audience, and that those behind it are the very best that money can buy. Okay. And then she goes on, it's my ambition to radically shift how the mainstream world thinks about AI and our relationship to it, as well as NFTs and the nature of digital ownership. The team working with me is aligned with that vision and are uniquely capable of it. Dude, again, that's what I read specifically yesterday or 2 days ago to say, all right, this isn't just a normal Claire Silver drop. This is her gearing up for something different. Again, that puts her more on the world stage. And we know the world loves talking about AI and AI art. So I kind of don't think I'm going to be selling that piece anytime soon. Like I have it listed very high now. If it sells at 7 ETH, great. But I don't think I'm going to let that go for 2 ETH or so. I think she's got something real special coming this year.
That's
That tweet
smart.
got me very bullish, very freaking bullish. um, any final thoughts on her? Otherwise, I'm going to move on
I
to I think
wonder.
a cool story.
So and it was used to mint. The high mint price was to fund this new work. I can only assume that this is going to tie into it somehow, right? Like I don't know. I get that sense, even though she didn't state it specifically. I would be surprised if this is just considered a separate siloed collection, like some of her other stuff, right?
I hope that's the case. I hadn't thought of that till actually this morning when I like found this tweet and bookmarked it. And I'm like, well, it'd be nice if this acts as a mint pass to whatever that next thing is, or if there's no NFTs involved, just some kind of access to it, or that it's heavily referenced. I'd be a little bummed if this was its own just collection and it's done and moving on to the next thing. I hope there's I hope there's more. I hope there's more to it, but I guess we'll find out. I can't wait. I can't wait. She's got me very excited about whatever she's cooking. Okay. This really caught my attention this morning. You don't see Animoca FUD ever. I mean, like basically never, right? But there's some good points brought up in this tweet here from Codaman. Is Codaman a dude? Like a person? Okay. Angel
Who's to
investor.
know?
So TLDR here. It's talking about Animoca and their serious voting power in the 8coin DAO and some patterns people have been recognizing with what they vote for and what they vote against. And more specifically, it's a lot of voting to fund Animoca-backed projects and a lot of voting against non-Animoca projects or just abstaining to vote entirely. But when there's some big votes coming up that they really need, Animoca's full power and others, this thread here mentions that people like Sandbox who rarely vote, they show up for the big Animoca ones. So it's kind of like Animoca's already got their big, bag that gets them so much control, but then they get their friends that also have a ton of control. Sandbox, Horizon, whatever. They basically own the DAO. What I think. Okay, first off, no accusations here. It's just a thread that caught my attention. But how do we feel about that in general? One of the biggest DAOs in the world, controlled by one of the biggest builders in the world in Web3. Is that like in a way a conflict of interests?
Well, I think in this space we're always weary of centralization, right? Sorry, Katz, I front run you. What's up?
No, you're good. I was just going to say this is one of the issues with a DAO, right? Like this can happen. Any whale, I mean, if there's a governance token, essentially, well, you can have a governor, like you can have somebody come in and have control. And that's, and like he's saying, it's decentralized. So I don't know what, I could totally see this being legit. And what are they going to do about it?
So, like, I mean, kind of a good point there. It's like the DAO's working as intended. It
Yeah,
is, right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
like, can you really complain about it?
I feel like when you, especially when you tokenize it, right, and you give the ability to exit, like with the Jupiter DAO right now, right? Like people can go ahead and dump, but there'll be some whales out there accumulating, and then they'll have majority control of that, right? Like if it turns into DAO, if that's what's going to happen. I'm curious if the solution to something like this, Huda, I don't know what you think, is like soulbound tokens, like soulbound NFTs or have you, right? Like that, hey, you participated in this, we appreciate you doing so, and so we want to give you a certain, like a voice or a certain, perks for doing so, but like we don't want this to be directly tied to a financial gain or to allow this to become something that people can get a majority, control over it. Therefore, it'll be a soul bound token, and that's how you'll have access. And maybe it'll give you a multiplier or something. I don't know. It's curious, but you see it happen many times, right? Like I think like we saw it happen with Uniswap as well, right?
What did we see specifically with
I
Uniswap?
well, I think that a lot of people dump their tokens, and you saw a lot of whales accumulating that. And I think, I mean, I don't know exactly what the token distribution is now, but I recall back in the day, people were very suspicious of that, right? Like
Okay,
people
yeah.
with big bags coming in and accumulating and taking control of it.
Okay, so legit to bring this up for sure, right? To bring up the concerns. Legit criticism, or again, back to Kat's point, this is what a DAO is. This is how they operate. Everyone knew that ahead of time. So if there's a party that controls it, well, you are going to have to work together as a DAO to combat that. That's the whole point, right? It's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Definitely keeping my eyes on that. There's another part here too of them mentioning, Animoca is kind of founding other DAOs too. So it's like this just access and control funds kind of all over. It's gigabrain stuff. So, I guess I'm going to look at it purely as an enjoyer. What else can you do? I mean, I guess I've just never seen people that fuddy about Animoca. So
Yeah, but what are
very
we even fudding? Everybody loves. Oh, it's Animoca backed. Then great, it's a great project. Oh, they're throwing their money everywhere, all over the place. And so if people don't want to spend their own money, they want all Animoca to spend their money. Well, guess what? If they take over the Ape DAO, like, okay, well, that's what you're wanting. Like, I don't know. I don't know why FUD it, because everybody's all about Animoca everything right now. And so don't be surprised when they take over stuff. I
Right.
don't know.
Well, you know what? And this probably helps. Some of the specific criticisms are like other games or projects submitting a proposal to the DAO to fund their game, their project, and Animoca won't vote or they won't back it. Another project comes and asks for more money. Animoca's
Conflict
backing
of
that project,
interests. Yeah.
and they say yes. They vote for it. Their project gets
Yeah,
funded.
it's called a monopoly. I mean, we have this in the real world too.
Hey,
Like, I mean, all they've done is
Dirty
formed a
word.
monopoly.
it's it's true. Now I feel like we're in good hands with them, but absolutely, if they are going to become, like the Apple or the Google or whatever of this space, and now it's time to, in a way, put your money where your mouth is. We talked about this tech being the solution for those kind of problems. It's time to see if that's actually the case, or if we were really all sold some snake oil, right? This is it. It's time to figure it out. So interesting story, guys. Next up on the list, and these are gonna be quicker points because I do want to get to Quantum Cats, but hang on, let me find my link here. But I thought this was so cool. The live auctions that are coming. Like, I'm here for it, dude. I think that's like a very, very exciting thing. Like, event worthy.
And,
Which again,
NFT QBC.
what is that?
Oh,
QBT.
it's
Oh.
yeah, the QBC, the network, right?
That's
Like
right,
the television sales network. Like,
dude.
hey, are you interested in this? I don't know. Like, it could work, or it could just completely nosedive. I'm not sure, man.
Well, to me, it works because Giancarlo, whatever his name is, you got to have the right
Giancarlo.
personality hosting that kind of show, that kind of thing. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. Um, there we go. Yeah, it can work with the right personality, but like I wish you could see some of our DMs earlier when we launched this site, the way we talked about it. That these kind of like big ticket items, like a bored ape on a Dutch auction, and they just come up whenever. They're kind of event worthy. They like we see pricey Dutch auctions where everybody's watching them, and you're waiting to see if a bid comes last minute or something. Or I guess Dutch auctions, it's simply you buy it then. But there is something of a spectacle around those kind of things. So with do I say his name right? Giancarlo?
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
work.
It works. It works, man. So with him hosting these live streams, yeah, we're gonna get a good taste of it, and I think it's cool. So these are gonna be hosted directly on X, directly on YouTube. I hope it does well, and I wonder if he mentions what they're gonna mint or what they're gonna sell here. Okay, the first artist is someone who I think is about to have a wildly successful arc this year. So it's not gonna be a big name, but an up and comer. And Biggie, with your finger so on the pulse, do you have any guesses who that could be?
No, man. I'm part of his community, the Mentors Skip community. It's always great takes on there. I'm as curious as you as to whom it's going to be. I mean, and I'm curious as to the model it's going to take, right? Is it going to be like one-off piece, like just a single piece, like you said, like a little more in line with like a Christie's auction or anything, where it's just like high value bidders? I think the real meat of this attempt though is going something mid to lower, like where you have a piece maybe by a really well known artist, but like maybe there's 300 editions of it or so, right? I'm very curious to see how this turns out. Honestly, I think it can be really fun and cool, or it can just crash and burn. I don't think there's like a middle ground. Also, and I'm not trying to flood it, like I totally love people taking on these new models, but there's got to be some, and I'm sure Giancarlo already like looked it up, but there's got to be some type of legalese there, right? Because you're selling in a whole bunch of different states potentially, maybe even like cross geographic borders, and I
True.
don't know, man. I just know that whenever you do stuff like that, lawyers salivate because they get to fucking cash in and ramble on for the days on stuff like this, and it
Sure.
just I'm not sure. Like, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love seeing people take these like bold moves. Uh, yeah,
I'll tell you
I
what. Kind of what makes it a little more interesting is the metric of success for this is not how high or low it sells. That'll be interesting, but it's how many viewers does it get? Like, do people want to tune into something like that? And
how many
I
viewers and how
honestly,
many people partake in it
yeah,
too, right? Like, I
yeah,
mean, it is going to be on ETH also because transaction costs on ETH are not cheap. Are you going to be doing what on Polygon or on Arbitrum? Like, where are these mints going to happen? Because that would also determine, we do seem to place a certain value on where these items are minted, right, or held. So it's one thing to like hawk an ordinal or an ETH-based NFT. It's another thing to be like, oh man, I'm going to be selling QVC style base NFTs.
yeah.
And I mean, like you said, Huda, like this space is very financially motivated. So you can't exactly be selling beanie babies because nobody's going to want to tune in for
Dude,
that or
picture
partake in that. No.
picture. You're right. Picture if I put up a quantum cat on a Dutch auction live stream. Right?
Holy shit.
Like that's to me, that's where the potential lies. Like, sure, for the smaller things to, as you're testing things out, that makes sense. But when you start getting to like the ones that everybody's talking about and get people tuning in and they think they might get a deal or you got a grail for sale, that's where this gets very cool. And I don't see a way that doesn't work well. And if it does work, I'm gonna copy it. Like I swear to God, I'm copying exactly that idea. So
You have
um
to limit the time frame too, right? What are you going to keep this auction going for? What, like 5 6 hours? I don't see people. You're not going to be able to rob people at 5 6 continuous hours for these bids. So I guess they're going to have to be lightning bids.
yep.
I just want to see, like, like Giancarlo, if you're listening to, make sure you get a manicure, man. Because sometimes when I see these QVC people back in the day, dude, they have some fucking gnarly fingernails, and you're like, dude, I want to buy that shit.
That's amazing. It's a good point. It's a good take. quickly move into next topic, and these will go a little quicker through. But yeah, just cool story from G Money yesterday. Took out $1 million loan on a CryptoPunk. Like, really, really cool to see NFT finance really maturing here. Now, he compared it to the first time he took a loan, a few years back, and I hope I can find. Yeah, it's right there in the first tweet. Initially, his first loan was a $25,000 loan. Just highlighting how much the value has grown, how much it's been proven that our systems really do work, right? That people are comfortable loaning out that kind of money. Just all around a great story of that still early sector here in in the blockchain world. Loans on digital assets. I think we all have a belief it's going to be much bigger than it is today, and this is one of those milestones, I think, getting there. So congrats to G Money here. $1 million richer. You can't really say he's any richer right now, right? But
So, okay, I'm bummed because I know he was talking about it in his Discord on his FOMO Fridays talks, and I missed them because family. But I would have really liked to just dive into like the particulars. And like you said, he doesn't need the money, so why do it, Huda? Because he's not farming tokens. So I guess he's trying to prove out the concept, or maybe be like spearheading this to try to incentivize other people. They're like, well, if G Money's doing it with his
right.
fucking punk, it must be pretty safe.
So
Uh,
I wonder if
I
he's
don't know.
got paid by them, like if he's kind of an advisor or something, because I know they do have people like that. But it's a good point. He probably has enough money, but me not being in that headspace, I could imagine still looking for other ways. Like maybe you got plenty of money, but you have plans for it. You've already, you're allocated everywhere. You got your little safety net elsewhere too. And this is just an extra option to get liquidity for something, maybe super short term. Like I could picture a bunch of reasons, but maybe getting paid a little is one of them. Maybe. All
Man,
right.
I'd be so fucking nervous.
To take out a loan like that?
Yeah, especially for an ape punk. I mean,
Yeah.
good damn. No
Fair.
way. No, sir.
Okay, last couple quick points here, mostly centered around Bitcoin, because then we get to Quantum Cats here. Just putting on your radar what could be a pretty big mint this week. I think it's coming up this week here. Hope he's got the date on here somewhere. I have a real hard time gauging how big this might be, although it's getting a little clearer now as the days go on, because he's partnering with some big collections, some big groups. Yeah, it makes me think his new piece called Deus Ex Machina or Machina, whatever.
Yeah, Deus Ex Machina.
Machina. I think it's going to do well. Yeah. Comparing it to a previous drop of his, 333 supply. Don't know if they have the mint price here, but it sold for almost a quarter bit. Oh, that's all on ETH. Okay. So I can't really compare because Bitcoin is so different. I'll say this. I don't love this new collection. I don't love the look of it. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here it is. Oh, maybe I do.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's super cool. I've seen stuff like this not do well before, and I've also seen the flip side. Man,
I
I
love how
fucked
they
up.
always display it in the video like it's this like hollowed hall of marble,
Oh my
like you're
goodness.
somewhere in Elysium, like walking into the museum, and all we have in reality is these stupid little infinite object screens that run out of battery in like 5 hours, and like it pisses me off, Huda. It's like
Yep.
when do we get big screens and shit like this where you can actually display it?
Oh my God, save that. Save that for the end when we get to the Apple Vision Pro. I'm telling you,
All right,
dude,
all right,
that
all
is
right.
the
That's
key to everything.
Huda's
Everything.
gonna be the Apple Vision Pro like hawker, right? Like we are
Oh yeah.
doing with Say. I
Better,
like it.
dude, better believe it. It's why I'm really, really, really trying to get a
Hey,
Vision Pro.
dude, if it's as good as it gets, let me know. We can all get one, and we'll start doing like Slam Vision on the metaverse. Can you
Yeah, dude.
imagine that?
Oh,
That'd
dude,
be
I
fucking dope.
absolutely can. Okay, so this piece dropping on the 6th, so just in a few days here. Min price is 0.01. Kicking myself because I had the opportunity to get the pre-sale, like purchase it, and I forgot, like I had a ticket open for it and just forgot to reply to them. So I'm on the whitelist for it. Um, This directly leads into the story, though, with Quantum Cats holding funds hostage, holding NFTs hostage a bit. My money's all tied up there, so
I
so a little
hope that's
yikes.
not the case, Huda. I hope people have spent their funds. I hope people have tapped out, given up, and went elsewhere. Because I want a shot at a quantum cat. Do you think it's still worth or even trying, or
Yes, I do.
really?
Yep.
No. I mean, like trying without
Trying for the
being
public.
allowed listed or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, screw it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I want to mention too, and this is the very last point before getting there. Just be aware, guys, that there's a new season coming up in Bitcoin. We did mention this on NFT Live, but we're about to enter Rune season. This is honestly, it's gonna be a very big deal. Runes are basically the replacement for BRC20s. It's a new protocol that was made by the creator of the Bitcoin Ordinal protocol, Casey Rodomore. So he invented these runes. They're not live yet. They're going to go live on the date of the Bitcoin halving. So going to be a really, really interesting day. But what we're seeing now are these RSIC, I can't remember the full name, but those RSIC tokens that were a free airdrop, Meta Protocol, there we go. It's a free airdrop to people from certain collections. It was Puppets and Node Monkeys and a few others. But man, these are getting close to 0.1. 0.1 Bitcoin. Some people got 3, 4 in their wallet. And these are being used to farm a rune token, right? Or farm your biggie's favorite, but points, something that's going to help you get your allocation of the rune token when it drops. And now I'm seeing other new rune type or rune-centered collections launch. So that is the next meta in Bitcoin. Be watching out for it. There's some of them that are free. Something I'm watching here. These guys, I don't know anything about them. They popped up, and knowing that that's going to be the meta, I'm watching this one closely here. So just putting that, I guess, on your radar. But definitely be watching for those rune focused projects. They are going to be very hot, very, very hot.
Dude,
Right now.
the more I see this, the more I just want fucking Bitcoin L2s to please, like, fucking just be here already, man. I honestly, I do not enjoy transaction on Bitcoin, Huda. You know, I don't care what the token standard is. I hate it.
Well, then I'll tell you, you better be rooting for Quantum Cats because that's their goal.
I am, dude. I am. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to sneak in there.
Dude, I hope
And
so.
hopefully my cat is dead because I do like the dead cats.
Dude,
better.
they're great. You want
If it's
dead
alive, hopefully there's a way to kill it.
Oh, that'd be cool. It's so cool. Like as we talk about, what they actually are, it's so cool that we don't know what they ultimately are. That these are going to evolve over time and we don't even know how long. Like in a month do they reach their final form, or is this something that goes the entire year? Is it something that they evolve as maybe milestones are met? They're trying to revive an old protocol that is going to enable like more robust L2 interoperability, more functionality. It's going to enable some security functions. It's going to allow for dexes. So I think it'd be really cool if hitting milestones of the code, being, maybe the soft fork happens and then maybe the first this is built if your cat evolves right along with those milestones. But anyway, you definitely want to get a bubble. That is, I think, the grail of the collections. I noticed they have a Crypto Slam Lightning logo in there. That's cool.
Oh, damn. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. I honestly, I think it's just a generic lightning bolt that we use and everyone uses, but I'll pretend it's a Crypto Slam bolt. So, okay, this tweet was taken from the day of it, right? And of course, people very, very bullish on Quantum Cats. Doesn't matter what chain you play on, you were looking at Quantum Cats, man. This tweet got 70,000 views. Who is Dan Held? Oh, well, he's got 700,000 followers. Interesting. Part of why I'm so bullish on Quantum Cats, man, and everything Taproot Wizards, look at the people like involved there. This guy is this guy CMO at Taproot Wizards? Is that what his bio means right there? Oops.
Trust Machines and Taproot Wizards, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
English is in the chat. He should know.
Oh, what up, English? Yeah, dude. Dead got his bubble. What did you paper, English? Your RSIC? I'm assuming your RSIC you papered. Yeah. But you won, dude. They were free. Okay. And that's the point, Loot. Yeah, exactly. Taproot Wizards have got a different class of influencer, of builder, of professional. There's just no world where these things do not do just so well. I don't even have really words for like kind of how automatic it is, you know? Like it's automatic that they blow away their mint price at least, that they 2x. 2x is absolutely programmed in. It's probably really likely that a 3x is programmed in. And I think from there's some higher X's that are actually likely. Not counting on them, not banking on them, but in the right market, in the right scenario, definitely. And I actually think having the mint on a Monday way better than having it this past Friday or even the previous day. What was it? Like, was it a Tuesday? Can't remember if that was a Tuesday or Wednesday even. I think a Monday launch is going to be really great for this, especially because it'll take a day probably to get them in collectors' hands. So then it gives us most of a week to actually get that secondary market cooking. But kind of running through the timeline of how this went, right? So we were all hyped for that mint coming up. Everyone's gearing up for it. We all had our wallets ready early, and we're just like counting down for the timer to show we're live. And unfortunately, it did not go smoothly at all. So some people had luck, like our buddy Dead Polaroid. He was able to mint his cat. In fact, two. Did Dead have two? He had two cats.
Yeah, you got two.
Okay, interesting. Thursday. So yeah, Dead got two. So what happened though? Actually, let's even go to the site. I wonder how far you can get into any of this. Go back to pre-register. Okay, so you can't pre-fund and even register for the public anymore. Biggie, did you happen to do that?
Yes, I did register. Don't know, like again, like I don't know what good that's gonna do me, but we'll see. It's just mempool gods, please save me.
Yeah, like this. I wonder why they did the pre-register for public, other than to gauge interest. That makes a ton of sense. But are they going to have like a second, not whitelist, but like a again, will the pre-register people have first dibs first? Like otherwise, what was the purpose of that? English. I wonder if you got a little insights into that. Because if you didn't pre-register, you still have the opportunity to buy. Is that correct?
But even if you pre-registered, I'm sure it's over allocated in that
Absolutely.
regard. Like I would not be surprised. I think really it's either you know how to work the mempool or you're lucky and that's it. I hope to be like you.
Be on your fastest computer and do some digging, do some research into seeing our mobile wallets. Like we learned on Say, mobile wallets are faster than desktop. So you may want to find out what actually is optimized for you because this is a brand new kind of mint platform or mint, method. Because they don't want people sniping away at people's mints from the mempool. So it is first to hit the pool is the one that gets the mint, which is cool. So you got a chance as long as you're very fast. So yeah, it will be, dude. I might try for a public too. I might try, but yeah, they're gonna be very different.
Dang, Huda.
Dude, I would have to.
You're gonna be the crazy.
You just stacking Bitcoin like that now? Yeah.
No, I've got nothing. Dude, all of my money, all of it. I've got like 0.1 ETH. It's all tied up in the Quantum Cats mint, in the V1 Punk, and in that clear silver. Not a bad thing to have your money tied up in.
No, but you got 0.2 Bitcoin set aside for your two cats, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's already preloaded.
You're saying you're gonna get another one on. That's what I said. You said you got another one. Potentially get another one on public. I'm like, man, you got another 0.1 Bitcoin just hanging out.
Yeah, if I sell,
he's a wizard, cats. He's an alchemist wizard. He knows how to fucking fabricate Bitcoin out of thin air.
It's a gift. It involves selling the clear silver. No, it involves flipping the clear silver for like 2 ETH, which I think is very doable. Or it's just taking the 3 ETH offers on the V1 Punk, get a Quantum Cat, and then just buy back into V1 Punks. So that I would need to do it that way. Definitely don't have 0.1 sitting around. But dude, it's gonna be spicy. Yeah, and it will be botted. But English, what is the point of the pre-registration for public? Like I still don't quite get that. If it's public anyway, like if you didn't pre-register, you still have you still can try to mint, right?
Yeah, but see, he's saying that it will be bought. I don't know. Like it's always like that little feeling, right? It's like you send the transaction, kind of like with you with Clear Silver, and then except it takes an hour for you to figure out you fucking didn't get shit.
Well, no,
the
for
meme
them,
pool
because it's first
sucks.
mem pool, I think you'll know quickly. I think you'll know like almost instantly.
Oh, okay, right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's what's so different about this. They are building this kind of from the ground up with the team that built the Yuga Labs 12-fold mint and a couple others. They're like kind of the best of the best. Another reason I'm so bullish on the team is because that's what they do. They're innovating. They're building out better tools in UX. So yeah, actually, in English is saying anybody can mint. So I still don't understand what the hell the point of pre-registration, pre-registering for the public was. Like, what in the world does that do? So. But anyway, walking through that day still, though, initially delayed just till the next day, right? And I think they just could not get it tested in time, or maybe it wasn't even the testing. Maybe they still couldn't get the platform itself where it needed to be. By Friday, though, the day of the mint, man, well, they did get the platform where it needs to be, but they delayed again, wanting an extra couple days to test. Like, really, I get it at that point. You can't afford another big fuck up. Although they'd be fine, right? But it's just not great to have another major fuck up, like Mint goes live and it doesn't work again. So they're like, all right, let's give it a few extra days. Let's really test it as hard as we can, and then we'll know for sure Monday's going to be no problems. The only bummer here is they missed a special date, which was the 1-year anniversary of the Taproot Wizards inscription. So that was on February 1st, which was what was the first original rescheduled date for Quantum Cats. But that was the date where they filled up a 4 megabyte block with that beauty right there.
Will those cats go for more? Like these cats are one of the few that actually were minted on that day.
Only because they were actually minted the prior day. If that happened, if the mint was this date and some got to February 1st date, I do actually think those would be worth a little more. That's a cool point. But yeah, it happened to be the day before, so they lose out on that provenance. Still going to be very, very cool. And again, having both the Taproot Wizard and Quantum Cats mint on the same day, a year apart, I think would have been a cool story. But missed that opportunity, and so we move on. Let me think. Any other points? Well, okay, that really gets us to the main point where the title of this show is called Taproot Wizards Holding NFTs Hostage. And that goes into, kind of my situation, and I think a lot of other people. Our money now is tied up in the Taproot Wizards pre-registration. You can't have your wallet dip below that price. You need the 0.101 Bitcoin for one. You need the 0.202. And if you drop below, you're not qualified anymore. So a lot of people's money held up in these white lists and the pre-registration. Now, it seemed at first like that was affecting prices and like maybe general action in the NFT market. That did kind of change, though. Like, we're seeing tons of sales in the Node Monkeys, and their floor prices back up. I think they had fallen to like maybe even 0.15. Holy cow. Man, they're absolutely ripping. But they had fallen, right? And again, I think it was people getting that liquidity for Taproot Wizards, but now they're pushed right back up to where they were. So they're rocking again. That RSIC, again, another great indicator. That's got to be another all-time high here, 0.09 now. So I guess I can only speak for myself. My money held hostage by the Quantum Cats. I think everybody else is probably liquid and good. It seems, at least looking at the prices here. Good morning, Rajan. Good to see you, man. Yeah, probably English, almost definitely, yes. Almost definitely in time, like 5 years down the road, I think there would be something a little cool about having one minted on the anniversary. Nothing more. It's not a major thing. Nothing significant. Okay, so Ethereum NFTs. Okay, I really did believe, and to some degree I still do, that all this money being tied up is actually impacting Ethereum too. General thoughts from you guys about that. Do you think that much money being tied up into a mint for a week is actually impacting the NFT market on Bitcoin or on Ethereum?
I don't, honestly. I think people that buy
I don't get it.
NFTs already or that are in crypto are already, I would say above average in terms of either risk or income, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that are just kind of like, that's their liquidity, and sure, there's a percentage of it, but overall, to impact the entire market like that, I doubt it. I mean, because you can see the activity in all kinds of different sectors, right? I really do think that right now, I go back to this, and it's like the reason you're not seeing so much activity in Ethereum at the moment is because there's so many new shiny objects that you can be exploring, right? And people that were already in Ethereum, I mean, I've been in Ethereum for a good while. I'm pretty comfortable with my positions there already. Like, I'm not really looking to continue adding on ETH. I would much rather add on ordinals. I would much rather add on say. I don't know. There's just so much more to explore at the moment that it's even Solana that I think Ethereum right now it's fine. Like you take a rest.
Good points. It is good points. Okay, I buy that. I buy all that. I still would argue there's some impact, but again, it's my story, and I assume there's a few other people who did what I did, but is that enough to actually impact the market? Probably not. Probably not. English, you might
Totally.
Yeah,
like
I
this.
just think
Shit.
you're thinking
What's
about. I
happened
mean, you're
here?
talking about such a.
Go
You're
ahead,
just talking
Cass.
about such a small amount of people. You know, I mean, I know that our space is really small anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it holds up an entire market. Does it affect some people? Of course, but I just,
Right.
on the overall market, I don't think it's holding up everything.
Well, think of
Because
it.
a lot of Bitcoin people, man, a lot of Bitcoin people just have, multiple Bitcoin. Like, I don't know, like when you start playing in Bitcoin, like a lot of those dudes been around a long time, and they got a lot of stacks like that they can throw around if they want to. It's not really if they wanted to throw that money around, they could.
I guess here's a little context, and maybe I can come up with a scenario of why it's not impacting the way I thought it would. But we definitely saw a sell off in collections. Like we definitely noticed projects floor prices falling, and we were assuming that was to get the liquidity for the whitelist, right? And I think that makes sense. Like I think that's an obvious thing because truthfully, there's not a ton of volume here. Rajan, I'm going to get to that question in a second here. So we definitely saw that. I wonder though so in the idea there, you sell your asset, you get your liquidity, you get pre-registered for the Quantum Cats mint, and your idea was I'm going to flip the mint, make a little money, and buy back in. Again, that's my exact scenario, and we did see the sell-off in other collections, but I think maybe because it got dragged on, people found their liquidity somewhere else to buy back into that collection because they just didn't want to be out. Like I sold my baby Kong. I don't want to be out of it. If I flip my Clear Silver, that's the first thing I buy back into, right? So maybe a bit of that is a factor too, but just interesting watching how the market moves and it works.
Dude,
Oh,
interesting.
good.
Fucking
English answer.
pizza ninjas are the same as Bitcoin puppets. That is
Um,
in like they're about the same floor price, right? It's
yeah,
fucking
actually,
insane.
Pizza Ninjas are going the wrong way, and I know someone here that was not very bullish on them from the get go, and we're seeing that play out. Um, and the flip side is Bitcoin
English.
Puppets. I think they're also not super bullish on them too, but I am. I think Bitcoin Puppets are gonna be fucking massive. Like they're the dick butts or something. Like they're great. English, okay. I didn't want to name drop it. Cool. Yeah, dude. Pizza Ninjas 0.04. So they did flip, right? Yeah, Bitcoin Puppets are worth more than a Pizza Ninja. That's wild. I got Pizza Ninjas wrong until I talked to English. Like I thought they were going to be a big deal. Like was really
What's
tempted to
the
get one.
TLDR? What's the reasoning if you care to share? Like I mean, just you, Huda, what you figured out about it.
My thoughts is I think surface level. I looked at them as a team of builders. They've got the Ninja Alerts platform. I looked at them as a pretty solid group of influencers too. And to me, it was that simple. Guys who know the tech, guys who've got a techie platform, kinda, and again, very chatty. They pull eyes. They have an audience in the low supply. I didn't think about it in context of well, yeah, they have a platform, but it's not really widely used, and maybe it's not performing well, and maybe it's not that big of a deal. And then I started seeing some not FUD, but some like just from that team, just things that like they're influencers. They get engaged in some TMZ type shit sometimes, and seeing some of that and seeing them maybe on the wrong end of that kind of stuff, soured me a little bit. So that's what I think's going on over there. I don't think it's anything major. I think they're a solid group, and with the supply of that collection being at like 1,500, the price makes sense. Like 0.03 to 0.05 makes sense, but man, I guess I don't see them blowing up the way I initially did. Like I thought they'd be like a Bitcoin frog or Node Monkey, and I don't see that at all anymore. Yeah, OGs, okay. OGs don't like them. I actually love the art. I'll say that. I really like the art. But the
I
Trevor
do
thing, I
too,
didn't know
man.
Trevor was not liked. I didn't know that, and that's what changed stuff for me. Yep. That's what changed it all, dude. Again, I just had misread it, and that's what keeps this down for me now. As far as RSIC, Rajan was asking, okay, if you sell your RSIC or somebody sells theirs to you, do you get their mined rune? And English is saying you keep what you mined. Okay, so like with cyber Kongs with a baby and the shards you generate, if I don't claim those shards and I sell my Kong, the other person, they're on that Kong, so he gets to claim them. But it sounds like the mining is not attached to the asset itself. It's maybe attached to your wallet. So whatever you mined is in your wallet or allocated to your wallet already. Interesting. If you keep what you mine, there's going to be a lot of sell pressure when people have mined enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, there's going to come a squeeze at some point, right? Like, how much more can you get out of that RSIC mining versus what you can get for those on secondary right now? That's super interesting. But okay, but with only five mines so far, dude, there's going to be a sweet spot where you've made a bag of whatever this rune is, and the price of that's going up because people are going to feel some FOMO on it. And man, you maybe we see those things hit like a quarter Bitcoin, and you've also secured a big bag of this rune. God, that'd be beautiful, man. Dude, Rajan is one of the most gangster traders I've met. Like, I'm so glad to have met him through here. He's really, really good at the NFT shit, man. Yeah, well, true. That's a good point. Okay, well, I think this kind of gets us beyond Quantum Cats. Mint coming up in 2 days. Again, just so excited for it. Any last price predictions on it? Maybe go around if you guys have any thoughts.
I'm
Yeah,
not
Rajan,
gonna
you're
even
OG, dude.
pretend to know.
English. Price predictions for Quantum Cats. I'll go first. Or Cats. Maybe you go first, unless you don't want to make any predictions on it.
Dude, I have no idea. That's an English question. I
Yeah,
mean, I could definitely see point two, point three, but you know, things are hard to predict. Oh,
point
look
two to
at that.
point three.
English agrees with me.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, if I see point three, I'm definitely going to sell one. Tempted to, I don't know. It's having two. It might be tempting to sell two. I would love to see my Bitcoin wallet at a half Bitcoin plus. Anything over point three is yes, definitely a one of them getting sold. It's just a question of that second one, and with a plan to buy back in. I think if and when it falls, because I really want to be in this community. Their Wizards collection is way smaller than Quantum Cat, so it's like if you want in this ecosystem, this is your best chance, man, because there's just 1,200 Wizards. Uh, Crazy to think with as big and vocal as they are, that combined they're going to have 5,000 NFTs. Like that's crazy. Actually, less. Hang on, like 4,400 NFTs. That's picture that, dude.
I do, man. I like it, right? I really do like that. We were talking about it yesterday on the show, Huda, that the smaller communities just have a better chance at actually forming tight knit bonds and working as a unit, right?
Yeah,
When they're too large, I think you've got people pulling in different directions. It's harder to coordinate, and sometimes people don't really get the jive. I don't know. I've just been enjoying the smaller communities more and more.
right. Yeah, I'm definitely with you. I love my idiots crew. That's it's like it's home. English. What is like it might get frothy mean? Like just too much action. Too much action kind of keeps the price down. I don't believe so. I don't think there's any whitelist you get through these other than it shows like this is a notch in your record that you did the quest. So this helps you towards getting a whitelist for Taproot Wizards.
Well, not everybody did the quest, right? Like there's going to be some people that get a cat that didn't do the quest.
I love that. I love that right there. Could be more than point three. I do. I do see a real possibility these go point four. So they wouldn't shock me at point five, although that's wild. But I could see it. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're gonna rip. I do think point three is like the target. I think anything more is. I mean, More than that's actually doable. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, we got price predictions. All right, we're getting to the best part now. My favorite part. And there is so much more talk. I just don't want to do this show for 2 hours today. Apple Vision Pro. Good Lord, Quantum Cats, please go to 0.3 because that'll get me a Vision Pro. Every 0.1 it goes up basically is a Vision Pro. It is. Every 0.1 gets a Vision Pro. So at 0.2, I'm happy, but I'm not buying one. At 0.3, I am selling and I'm getting a Vision Pro and also 2x in my investment in it. But check this out. Did I delete my links? God damn it. I need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to host. I need to learn how to do a show proper. Good Lord. Give me a second, guys. Oh, in the meantime, let me put something cool up on the screen. Story just from probably last night. Might have been this morning. Oh, and by the way, that's not a real sale. This was like a bundle. There was some Bitcoin and a
okay.
and a Badger that got like transferred in the same transaction, and sometimes those get picked up as a sale. So, hey, what the hell? What the actual? Okay, hang on. We're investigating. Verse, the generative art platform had a tweet this morning, and it's gone. And it was a really interesting tweet here. Did you happen to catch it, Big Ear Cats?
No.
Here it is. They just redid it. Okay. Solana.
No, I haven't looked at Verse in a
So
while.
this is crazy. I think Tezos is fucked. Man, like giving people a cheaper option than Ethereum to mint on and collect on. Tezos, of course, still the cheapest, but now you got the clean narrative over on Solana and the fast and the cheaper. This is really, really interesting because this, now all of a sudden we're going to get some very, very high quality stuff over on Solana. So I do think this is a big, big deal. I wonder, like, would we ever see Zancan mint on Solana? That would feel very weird. It would feel very weird, but this is bigger than I think people might give him credit for. Even if Verse is not the biggest generative art platform, it's the artist that they'll funnel to Solana that I'm kind of excited about here. So anyway,
Man, Tezos.
on
What? How
Bitcoin, hell
nuts,
yeah.
right?
Thoughts on Bad Kids? I know nothing about them. Do you mind dropping a link? I'd love to peek at them.
Oh, I saw those. Yeah.
Okay, I found my links, guys. Okay, first off, Apple Vision Pro out in people's hands. And I mentioned this earlier, Rafiq Anadol, something coming this week. I can't imagine an NFT in any way, but some kind of artsy experience, which is great. So that's just number one, right? Number two, here are parallel assets, right? The parallel card game. So they've got all those augmented reality things and just how awesome they're going to look here in the Vision Pro. So damn cool. Really is so cool. And then number three. I don't even know why I'm numbering these. These don't really tie together. Here is, what was his name? NFT God. Just showing how it works, right? By the way, this is all stuff you can do in the Quest. And I've done this already. Like, I've sat at my computer with my, sorry guys, sat at my computer with my Quest on and had multiple monitors up. And it works just like this. But I do think this is like a lighter, definitely a sharper experience. But dude, I can tell you the experience of having monitors and screens around you. If you're about productivity, if you work and you've got a lot of stuff going on, this changes a lot, man. I mean, dude, just like you see him here, Twitter here, maybe a video playing there, maybe your email here, just having it that big, and the fact that like to move it around, you just grab it and move it here, dude. This ups anybody's productivity game by a long shot. But what really stands out here to me, it's not the windows, it's his room. Because once we get accustomed to working in these environments, like actually doing our work and watching our media, like watching our movies, just consuming stuff through here, well, the more that happens, the more you're keeping your headset on, the more you're going to start dabbling in decorating your room. because like these windows stay where you put them, right? And so are those little collectibles. So are these guys. You put that in the corner of your room, like just standing still and just animated or posing or whatever. Or maybe he wanders around your room and maybe he smartly can like navigate your room around couches and stuff because there is tech that does that too. But the more adoption we get here, man, the more NFTs are going to catch fire. And it's why I've always said VR, AR is the thing that funnels the masses. Like it is gaming, of course, but it's VR, AR that's really going to do it. 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, there's something about AR that makes NFTs so tangible. Like you get it at that point. You're like, okay, here's this thing. I get it's not just a JPEG. I get it's a cool like collectible now or a piece of art or whatever. And I get that I actually own it now. Like it's in my Vision Pro. I see it. They don't have it because they didn't buy it, right? Like I think this unlocks a lot of NFTs for people. So guys, thoughts on that, right? Like that's probably not a big brain take in any way. I think a lot of people share that, but do you guys share that thought?
I do in the long term future, of this tech developing. I do have some concerns, like I mean, we've been hyped over VR and AR before, right? Remember the Google glasses? We remember, the Facebook Oculus. Like here it is, Huda. One, battery life. How long does this thing last? Because if you're really trying to be productivity, I know you probably sit hours on end. I do as well. And then the second is, I have heard some of the people that were testing this product uh, complain about neck issues at some point because it is heavy, right? So having that for prolonged periods of time, I don't know how comfortable or healthy that might be. We'll see. Like, but I those are my two main concerns: battery life and like actually like prolonged use of this hardware, whether it's actually comfortable or not.
Yep. Good points. To those points, battery life is not long. It's probably a couple hours, but it's why they built they built it the way they did, where the battery is separate and you like clip it on your belt. A lot of people who are
Yeah,
using it for long sessions, they have it there, and then it's also plugged in the wall, so you can just get infinite time that way. That's still a problem. It is battery life. Now, the headset, I saw similar complaints about the weight, but I think a lot of people were reviewing this that are not VR people. So, like NFT God's a great example of someone who does use VR, and he's like, I was able to use it for hours because I'm used to VR headsets. So there's always going to be that amount of time it takes to get used to it. I think DC Investor might have been somebody. There was somebody else, a big name, that actually couldn't keep it on more than 20 or 30 minutes without getting eye strain and just feeling the weight of it. But that's just, oh my God, that's just part of how it's going to work, dude. Just we're going to start seeing this in public, not with this generation, not with a Pro, but when the consumer model comes out, dude, man, we're going to see this shit everywhere. Now, that mass adoption thing still doesn't come when it's this form. It's got to be like those Ray-Ban sunglasses, and I don't know if the tech's there yet. You remember when we saw that Lex Friedman and Mark Zuckerberg interview in the metaverse? You guys saw that, right?
yeah.
So like that tech's wild, Polaroid, I think it's called, and Apple has their version of it. I think we were all kind of blown away at that part. It was like, oh shit, you guys have the tech that makes avatars look that good and it maps 1-to-1 to your facial movements. Like we didn't know at that point that tech had already gotten there. I'm kind of wondering if they already do have the tech for smaller, like much smaller glasses. Processing power, maybe you're wearing on your belt, just like the battery on the Apple Vision Pro. And it's just not something that's being shown yet. But I wonder if it's not as far off as maybe I would think, because I do think you need that form factor for this to really catch. So that's why I say 5-10 years out, unless that tech is actually closer than any of us realize. So um, I guess my belief though is
Yeah,
this is it. This is what does it.
I can see 5-10 years out. Like I'm not a VR person, and like I can't imagine being in my house with my kids running around and all the chaos that my house is, and like me walking around with these goggles on. Like no freaking way.
Would you if
Now,
they were
if
glasses?
it
Like,
does get to the point where they're the size of actual, I was gonna say if in 10 years they're the size of glasses, and at that point I'm probably wearing glasses anyway, um, then I can definitely see it. But like in its current model, like these people look ridiculous. Walking in the street with that,
my
like
God.
it is Tesla. The stuff you're showing
at
is
this.
just like these people are dumb. Like I just,
Look at
but
this video, guys.
like you can't be
And
going out. You're gonna get hit by a car.
Oh my God. No, it's for well, I mean, there it's incredible because the pass through is so clear. It's wild. This blows my mind. This, dude, this is what I'm talking about. That you will hang up, like I know this is like iTunes, so it's Apple Music, pinned to his wall, but the things you place are stationary. They will live right there. Even when you turn the headset off and come back, you can permanently place things around your house. So it's like, what if you're hanging up your Windsor Yawanawa there and it's always there? And when the tech gets to the point that maybe like anybody connected to your home Wi-Fi also sees your stuff too. Like it is really gonna get interesting here. Reskin your couch, right? Like you don't like the pattern on your couch, you buy a skin for it that's an NFT, and all of a sudden it looks different. And same with your wallpaper. And then again, this boggles my freaking mind. It's like it's here. It's actually here. Yeah, that's wild too. Watching a movie looking like that. I'm bookmarking all this shit. And
look,
all this stuff you can do in Quest though, which is funny, just not as well.
and I will say one last thing. Like, I already hate keyboards on phones, Huda. I will absolutely despise keyboards on this thing. I know you can use an actual keyboard as well and hook it up, but yeah, I don't see myself typing there like NFT gods on like a virtual keyboard. That's
Right.
gonna be, yeah, drive me crazy.
Completely with you. Completely. It's one of those things they have not figured out yet. And I don't know what the solution is. There's, I think maybe the solution is it's going to say voice to text, but
I was gonna
maybe
say
more
that too.
privacy.
I think that, yeah, that's true. You have to learn Morse code with your eyes.
Oh, be cool. Oh my God. I kid you not. Okay. Tell me this wouldn't be awesome. And there would be a learning curve for all of us. But if you could do sign language, because it's got these cameras tracking, imagine if you could just with your hands be typing out as quickly as you could sign. How
Yeah,
cool would that be?
kind of like with Dune with the fucking hand gestures.
Oh yeah, dude. Actually, yes. And I watched that for the first time like 2 months ago. It's incredible. Dude, that would be amazing. I hope somebody's thought of that. Like win-win, right? Like everybody learns sign language and probably a very quick, easy way to like type. That'd be awesome. Huh. What do
Yeah,
you think the learning curve is on sign language? Like how long would it take you to learn to like speak? God, sorry, but speak fluently and quickly.
dude. So when it comes to like, language acquisition, I've had some experience. I don't consider myself a polyglot by any means. I am bilingual, and I somewhat speak another additional three languages. I really think like it just depends. Like whenever people say, "Oh, when you're older," or "It's harder," or it's bullshit. It's just like go immerse yourself in the culture. Like if you really want to pick up a language quick, like you want to learn Japanese, go to Japan or like just go to a Japanese household. Like surround yourself by Japanese and have no other recourse but to speak. You'll pick it up quick. But yeah, uh, if you're gonna do the Coursera route or whatever, I feel like those most of them in the end don't do
Yeah.
well.
So I'm gonna do some research and see if there is any chatter about sign language for VR because again, like it's just as it hit me as I said it to me that is the solution. Um, would love to see if there's anybody pushing on that. I'm just going to show some other quick things like the use cases of them. And some of these videos are widely circulated, so you've probably seen, but one of the reviewers here who is not a VR person and, one of those people complaining about the weight a bit, but like showing that real world use case that, again, it'll be more practical when there's smaller glasses, but having your recipe floating like right above where you're cooking, having an individual timer you place above each pot, above each whatever it is, like multiple timers out there. It's like we're just getting a glimpse at what we've talked about for such a long time, and it's literally here now. It is, as someone who like dreamed of this stuff since I was a kid, like I very much look forward to this time. It's here. It's really, really, really exciting.
Yeah, man. And I always like I was talking about that with my brother-in-law the other day, and it's like, I mean, you have kids who my little girl is 2.5 years old. This is gonna be the corded phone version that we look back on and are like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this was so archaic. They're gonna look at this and be like, "Man, you guys are fucking dinosaurs."
Well, that
It's
that
crazy, right?
and we're gonna be looking at phones and tablets is archaic too. Well, maybe, because we will all have these on our head at one day. But when I don't know, I guess I don't know that these definitely will replace phones and tablets because I actually picture that more of an experience where you have that and you're like casting stuff up around your room from your phone. So right now, when you sit down with a headset and you open your MacBook, the screen pops up, right? So I kind of think maybe our phones and tablets will do the same thing, and so maybe those don't die off and become obsolete. They just become more, part of that interactive experience. God, I'm such a nerd. I love this shit so much. You wouldn't believe the things I'm feeling right now when I watch this.
Dude,
Like,
I believe it because Apple knows how to make things look sexy. That's, I think, has always been one of their strongest suits. They just know how to sell well and how to like deliver a good looking, sexy product. And so for
uh,
sure.
what still cracks me up though, so I know this is wowing a lot of people, and rightfully so. But like this guy getting pumped about those multiple screens again, probably for the past 3 or 4 years, you've been able to do this on the Quest. And again, I've done it. Like again, headset on, Discord, Twitter, video. It's a shittier experience, but for 4 grand to have a little better version of that, is it worth it? If you got it, it is. If you got a Quantum Cat, it is. So let's go fucking Quantum Cats in 2 days. Please get me a Vision Pro out of this. Point 0.3, the magic number. If we get to 0.3, I'm getting a Vision Pro. So can't wait. Guys, anything else you guys want to hit on maybe before we wrap here? There's tons of stories. I just don't think we need to dive into another 15, 20 minutes into anything specific. We had the Magic Eden wallet news earlier in the week. We had the Fubar story of him getting doxxed, which sucked. We talked about that on NFT Live. The wallet wars. I mean, there's stories, but anything big that I'm missing?
Man, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's something that the minute we hung up, when we're like, shit, I should have brought this out. It's important.
Yeah. Well, if it happens, like, dude, I fired up my live stream last night, like a stream from like 9 to like 11:30 or 11 or
I've
something
been
like that.
watching that. It's like your research, huh? Like you're just kind of having people come and chill while you're doing your research. Love
Yeah.
it.
Now, I may not have them come up because I actually didn't get much research done, but I might do that more often. I'm definitely going to be live streaming more often. So as this Saturday show keeps getting tightened up into more of a show, which it's still not there yet, but it's gonna, um, those streams will be very much this kind of vibe, just like riffing on what's happening, looser than this even, just like totally just riffing on anything going on. But I want Saturday's thing to turn into the actual, like a produced show. I do. I need some animations. I need some better graphics and stuff. I need tighter segments. But this is the baby step, or this show here is the start of the Daily Show, really. So basically, what you're getting here will turn into the Daily Show. Don't know about co-hosts for that, but again, you'll point at that. Holy cow, got way off. But point
You're
of that
gonna
is I'll be live
expand that
streaming
to
more
10
often.
minutes though, right? Like the daily one. You're looking. I'm curious to see how that performs.
Well, that's going to be different. So the 5 minute thing stays for now. I don't. I'm kind of torn. The 5 minute thing is very useful. So as of now, the 5 minute video stays, and then after that drops, it's a 1 hour live show. Additionally, so expanding on all that stuff and having guests on, like like a typical morning show, probably something like that. Even though I would like to find something a little more fresh. Um, and then kicking around the idea of that 5 minute show being more like 10 and being live instead of produced. So got a lot to figure out here, like in the very, very near term.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I've definitely gained a whole newfound respect for content creation, having gone through and been experiencing it myself. It's a grind, man.
It
You
is.
really do have to love it, man. And you're seeing now, like, right, with like a whole bunch of like YouTube like mega stars, like just dropping the curtains, right, and like focusing on something else because it can burn you out.
Yep.
Lucky for us, though, with Web3, there's no, there's never a dull moment, man. We always have. It's almost like the stories write themselves all the time. There's always something to touch upon.
Yeah, spot on, spot freaking on. Yeah, yeah. The content game is a grind. Like I fell in love with it. I did not expect to. I just wanted to learn to do it. I just thought it'd be like a useful skill, but I love it. the editing is the tricky part, and I actually love editing too. I just need to learn how to get good at it. So, next steps. Yeah, guys, I think we'll call it here. And Wes, I'd love to look into Cosmos NFTs. I just don't know any. Like I don't know enough about them. I do think we're
I've heard about the bad kids. I remember checking them out back in the day. Like I do like to have exposure to like an NFT community, especially of chain like the protocols or tokens that I held for a while. So I did look at bad kids. I'm not sure if there's been like some new developments that you might be referring to, but
yeah, dude.
I,
Tell me
I do
if you got a
recall them
marketplace
being
in mind, because like
uh you can go to Stargaze. I believe it's called Stargaze. We've had it
the
there.
Stargaze NFTs or Cosmos.
Yeah, Stargaze is a Cosmos-based NFT. I think they might do
Okay,
like several different chains, but
okay.
you'll be able to find them on
We
Stargaze.
yeah we track those. I didn't. Okay, so we got those on Crypto Slam, which is cool. My thoughts about them. I've seen volume certainly picking up there, but I don't know any of the projects like on an individual level. But dude, now that you were saying this, I saw them at like the number 30 spot or so in the top 50 at least in the collection rankings this morning. So yeah, dude, interesting. I'm glad you mentioned these. I didn't connect any of these dots.
What's the floor on
Four
them right now?
thousand bucks, dude.
Holy
What?
shit! They were not $4,000 last time I looked at them. Thanks for bringing it up. Pain for my day. Just picked up like a couple.
Oh my god, this censored out my. I dropped an F bomb to Moisty, and it censored it.
Really? I hate that.
Look at
It
I
this
see it
happens.
bullshit.
on I see it on mine
On YouTube, you see it?
in the chat. I don't know. I'm on the
Are you looking on
StreamYard,
YouTube?
so I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it
looking on
showed it there, but I get
StreamYard.
an error kicked back, so they censor that on YouTube.
Way to go.
Bastards. Anyway,
Look at
yeah,
Moisty fully
Moisty
doxing
the
that name,
Chad.
buddy.
Oh yeah. Let's get that off the screen. Moisty's such a Chad. He would never be caught dead with a Vision Pro.
Moisty's coming to visit me in Florida. I'm
No
excited.
shit. Oh, dude, when? That's awesome.
I don't know when. He said he's coming to Orlando. I'm gonna make it
Oh.
work.
He said he's coming to Chicago and haven't seen him yet.
Wait, you're in Chicago, Huda?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go visit you,
Dude, visit any fucking
I
time.
fucking love Chicago. Just not right now. It's fucking cold.
Fair. Yeah, dude, any freaking time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, I hope your day is fantastic. Gonna be honest with you, I'm probably gonna be live later today at some point, just shooting the shit. So if you see me on, hop on. We'll do that thing again too. And then otherwise, tomorrow back with a 5-minute video, hitting on the market, hitting on all the latest happenings. I never know if I should do my tagline here. Do I do it? I gotta do it. Because guys, if it's happening in NFTs, I'm bringing you inside. Until the next time, I'll see ya.